Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, and welcome to episode 2 of the Down the Lane podcast. Tonight I'm joined by Bobbie Randall.
Hello.
Miles Rees.
Hello.
Rob Quinn.
Hello.
And Cherry Quinn. And I'm Barry Carpenter. I'm your host for this evening. So, talking about recent results, we'll go straight into our recent results. Last couple of results, Bobbie, I'll hand over to you. Farnborough, a 4-0 win, followed by a 3-1 defeat at the weekend at Dorking.
Farnborough, I think, was us showing our class again in this division. I mean, first half, I think Farnborough mainly dominated. They had a couple of chances going forward in a one-on-one that they missed. And then we came out second half, full guns blazing. I mean, Jason Adigan scored probably one of the goals of the season. Courtney Clark, you could also argue, scored another goal in the contender. And then Mark Class and James Davis in the game. But no, we've been sort of looking at the Farnborough and the Dorking game. They're two, I wouldn't say hard fixtures, but Farnborough, we should have won. We did deserve to win. And then Dorking, a big clash, and we obviously prevailed and lost 3-1. And then I think there's a lot of queries about that Dorking game in particular, but I won't dive into the details just yet. But
yeah, so staying on with the Farnborough game, Rob, yourself, your thoughts, Rob and Cherry, your thoughts on the Farnborough game?
I think the second half of the Farnborough game was absolutely amazing. We came out almost like a different team.
Yeah.
I don't know what Adam said to him at half time. I did ask him. I didn't go into detail.
a lot of swear words, probably.
But they were absolutely fantastic. It's probably the best I've seen them play.
Miles, yourself, you was obviously there.
Yep.
Your thoughts?
Yeah, we just sort of pressed them out the game, I think, second half. Kind of real intent. I think even the first goal was also a mistake from the two defenders, centre-backs clash for the same ball. Even then, George relentlessly running in behind, and you had the runs off the ball time second half. And as you say, Adigan was absolutely different gravy, absolute quality. I mean, the goal he scored was phenomenal. It's still my goal of the season so far.
Yeah.
And I think the lack of Farnborough's depth really showed. Only 3 subs, and we were able to bring on quality like Class coming on. We played really well. So yeah, brilliant performance.
Yeah, and I think you're right there. I think obviously Farnborough were short of players coming into the game. We knew that, and I think we knew that, and probably Adam knew that going into the second half they were going to get tired, and they, a little knock, whereas you may come off normally, they weren't going to be able to afford to bring someone off because if anything serious happened later on in the game, then obviously they'd need that. So, yeah, I agree. I think Farnborough was a good result, got us buoyant. And then we moved on to Dorking on Saturday, obviously an away day. We lost 3-1. Dorking went down to 10 men after 16 minutes for something that we're going to talk a little bit about referees either later today or in the next cast. But I think that for me it was a harsh red. I mean, I know Mark White said in his interview that he thought he got the decision right. He was the last man. And I suppose the rules are the rules. But then if the ref's going to implement the rules like that, he certainly didn't implement the time-wasting rules because there was so much of that went on in the game. I mean, a lot of people have said different things about Farnborough on Saturday. I'm going to say my piece and then obviously hand over to you. I think we need to look that the last day of Ramadan was on Saturday. And we've got a lot of players that, we've got players that are or were doing Ramadan because of their religion. And I think that, were they a little bit weaker? And the effort that they've put in the last month when they've been, through the month of Ramadan, did it just catch up on them a little bit maybe? I mean, I'm not saying that it did, but was that a factor? Because we were flat. There's no getting away from that. And it was a big game for us, obviously. One that we wanted to win, and I think one that quite a few of us said on the way there, if we win today, then, we stand a really good chance. Of course, in the meantime, Worthing had lost twice. And I obviously went up to Hornchurch on the Tuesday night to see Worthing lose, which was quite nice. They bounced back at the weekend and they've won. But I do think that, when you look at our results and our record against the top teams, I mean, I noticed a comment on one of the threads the other day where somebody said, "Oh, Borough don't turn up against the top teams." And I'll tell you what, there's one team that stands out, and that's Torquay. I think they've scored 20 points against the top 8 teams.
Yeah.
Although I think they're out of games now. I think they've got Truro to play, so they've got one more.
Yeah, Easter Monday.
I think we're on 16 points out of the top 8 that we've played. So that, in 14 games, and we've still got a game to go. So, but when you look at the other teams, all the teams at the top, all the teams in that top 8 position are, are around about the same numbers. So, it was a big game. We know that. 3-1 defeat. Go on, what's your thoughts, guys?
Yeah, I mean, look at it, watching it back, I think Dorking probably deserved it.
Definitely deserved it.
Definitely deserved it.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, it's not being bitter or anything, but no, I think Dorking did incredibly well with 10 men. They're a team who are incredibly strong and are very used to this division as well. I mean, some of their players are absolutely quality, like Jason Pryor. I think even their goalkeeper, Harrison Fawkes, ex-Borough player, of course, he's incredible. Alfred Rutherford as well. So good. And then that Josh Taylor as well, who run that midfield for them as well. Yeah, again,
He was outstanding, I thought.
a really good player. But no, they went down to 10 men, and obviously we thought we had a chance, but then they actually, I thought Dorking got better with the advantage. This much, sorry. So, yeah, and obviously we had our 2 chances of the game. And no scoring one of them was Courtney Clark's absolutely well-struck goal, which I think is another goal of the season contender.
I know. I was going to say that's actually my one. I thought he just hit that brilliantly.
No, on the bow as well, I reckon. But no, Dorking, obviously, red card we'll get into later. Did it spring us into life? I think it did for about 10 minutes, and then right at half time it killed us. And then obviously they got a penalty. Was it a penalty? Don't know. Was their first goal a defensive error, goalkeeper error? You don't know. But no, I just thought we got outplayed by Dorking. They came in with a game. They came with a game plan and they executed it, even with 10 men.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and I think the joy. I mean, I'd say the joy of having someone sent off. There's no joy, but we noticed it when we went to Hornchurch ourselves earlier on in the season. Isaac got sent off, and we had a couple of players that stood out. I mean, Odesanya that day was worth 2 players in himself. So
It was his debut.
Yeah,
it was.
Yeah.
And so he was worth 2 players in himself that day. And I think that sometimes, especially when it happens so early in the game, when a team goes down to 10 men that early in the game, it gave Mark White the chance to change it. And I know afterwards he said in his interview we went more direct, but I didn't really notice that in the first 15 minutes. I didn't really notice that they were going direct. They were trying to hit us early. Yeah. Obviously, they wanted that early goal. But I wonder if that was actually his game plan, or whether that was his game plan because somebody had been sent off, and to go more direct at our defenders. What are you thinking? What's your thoughts?
Well, I think if you're looking to win a league, playing against 10 men in a crucial game like that, I think you have to take. You would take playing against 10 men before you even started. So at that point, is it 3 points dropped? Definitely.
Yeah.
I think we should be looking at, regardless of who you're playing, if you're playing 10 men, you need to use the ball more, game management. And I think in terms of game management, that's where Dorking won it. Because they were running the clock down. They were breaking. They were using the opportunities that we were creating for them. It was almost as if we were waiting for the moment where they would tire and give up, but it never came. From going 1-0 up, then you look at the second one just before half time. Silly first goal, then just going to half time, giving away a penalty. At that point, we've made their decision for them for the rest of the game. So they don't need to do anything at that point. And we'll create more opportunities for them because we have to push.
Yeah, it's really disappointing though, isn't it? I think the fact that we could have been only 1-0 down at half time. It should have been a chance for Adam to get the lads in, rearranging tactically and really tackle the second half. And if we score that same goal we do score, it's 1-0, it's a completely different game, isn't it?
Yeah.
The penalty, I think, was a turning point for me in the entire game. Yeah. And it was a really silly foul. I think it was a penalty too.
I know.
Yeah.
Watching it back, it looks like they both had their legs up.
He's got there late though, hasn't he?
Yeah, but I think we both had eyes on the ball. I don't think Adigan intends to. I don't think Adigan knows he's there in a way.
No, I think he probably
They're both looking at
he
the ball.
knows he's there, but he's got to go for that ball. It's a foul. It's in the box. It's a penalty. I still think though, when we come out in the second half and we score that goal, you know, sort of 8-10 minutes into the second half, 53 minutes I think it was. You know, we looked hungry, we looked keen, but that was the time that Dorking really stepped up the time management. They stepped up. You know, at 55, 60 minutes, Harrison Foulkes is getting the ball and he's going down on the floor with it.
I think
and just holding
in
it.
the first half.
He was doing it the whole game.
Yeah, but he was doing it a lot more in the second half. You know, when the ball went out for a throw-in, someone was walking towards it. Listen, it's football, it's game management, and a good manager. And I'm sure if we're in that position, right? If we're 2-1 up, if we're 2-1 up,
you hate him as
Adam's doing exactly the same. He's not good. Why would he change it? You know, I mean, and I think as well, you hit on a point earlier on, Bobbie, that the Dorking players have got that experience, and I think we've got a very good squad. I think we've got a young, dynamic squad that if we can keep some of these players together, especially at their age, in 2 or 3 years' time, we are going to be outstanding. And I do think that quite a number of our squad could make the step up into the next league. If we are to get promotion, if we are to go through the playoffs. My only worry, my only fear, is that these players haven't been there before. We know Adam has, we know Greeny has, so we know the management team have been there. They've, you know, Adam's won leagues before, and you know, but that last year we needed to get players in that had fought a relegation battle, and they stayed, that, you know, they helped to stay up. And I just think that the squad of players we've got now are very good, but a lot of them haven't been in that position. And I think that's the thing. Whereas Dorking, you know, they've been up, they've come down, so they've seen both sides of it. And I do think that sometimes a lot of the players like Pryor, like you mentioned, Pryor, and they've been there. And I think that you can't buy that experience. So yeah, disappointing weekend, but onwards we go. Saturday, Weymouth at home.
Big game.
Big game.
Not a tricky one.
And then we've got St Albans away.
Ooh.
And
I think
I'm worried
St.
about that.
I am. St Albans are coming to a little bit of form, you know.
I'm worried about both of them because Weymouth has shown that they're not down yet. They're maybe on 25, I think they're on 31 points, but they know if they lose one more game, they're down. And they've already beaten Bournemouth.
Yeah.
And they beat Slough 4-0, 5-0? 4-0 weekend. They're coming into this knowing that if they lose or don't get a point, they're down, they win, they have a chance. And St Albans, what are they? They're 20th, 21st?
Just outside.
Outside.
And they're going to be kicking and fighting. I mean, I think they won at the weekend as well.
And on Saturday they have got
St Albans. They've got Dorking, I think.
They've got
They've
Dorking.
got Dorking away.
Then they're taking on us the following week.
Two big games for them.
Massive games, and the form that they're in at the moment, they've started getting a few results. You know, a few people are saying they could be the ones to escape that drop zone.
Well, I mean, just going even above to Boston, they were I think they were 14 points adrift. They picked up 14 points. Yeah. They've the greatest of great escapes. And Weymouth could do the same. Weymouth looked dead and buried, the same as Aveley, who obviously have now confirmed as a drop.
Yeah.
But they're going to, I mean, look who Boston have beat. Boston beat Southend, who are fighting for the playoffs. Yeah. Weymouth beat Boreham Wood, who are fighting for the playoffs.
Which is kind of what we did last year, right? You know, we're beating all the top teams.
Free hits. That's what they are.
They are free hits. They are free hits, but once you get that confidence and once you get that game, I mean, I still think that the game that changed our season last season was Maidstone at home. We got absolutely walloped.
That was a year ago Saturday.
Yeah, and it gave the players the freedom to say, you know, right, we've just got to do it now. We've got to go out there and do it. And I wonder if St Albans are in that, and Weymouth, they're in that situation now where it's like, we've just got to go and do it, right? Forget, you know, and it must be, if you've got the players in there that want to get out and they want to fight and they've done it like we did last year and want to beat that drop zone, they didn't want that relegation on their CV. And you know, it's the same as anyone when the chips are down. It's fight or flight, right? And we fought, and you've got teams now at the bottom of our league that are fighting. Looking at the top of the league this weekend, Worthing against Truro.
4 teams.
One of them two are going to drop points. You know, if we get a win on Saturday, we're right back up there with them again, depending on which one wins. So, or I mean, ideally, let's have a draw, right?
Well,
but
Worthing on 80 points, Dorking on 77, Truro 77, and Torquay 77. Worthing could still be top even if they draw. If Dorking win and Truro win, Dorking will go top on goal difference. I think Dorking have got a superior goal difference. So no, but obviously I'm a massive anti-Worthing hater. So obviously I don't want them top.
And I'm with you. And I think that
anti-Worthing.
you know, massive game. But I think there's an even bigger game this weekend, and that's Western-super-Mare at home to Maidstone. That is huge because if Western beat Maidstone,
Boreham would drop points as well.
You know,
Boreham
Western are right up with Maidstone, and they're chasing for the playoffs. And obviously we faced Western last game of the season at home, and we said in the last cast, and you know, we want their position to be sealed really.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You know, if they come to us needing that point or needing that win on the last game of the season, exactly that, it's gonna be a hard game.
I think,
and not that we don't need hard games. I think we can win hard games of football, but you'd much rather an easier one, right? Especially if we are going to go into the playoffs, especially dependent on what position, because you know, whoever, if that game on the last day of the season between us and Western determines who finishes in what position, you know, if we're not finishing in the second or third position, we've got a game on Tuesday night or Wednesday night. We could be going to Truro. We could be hosting Truro.
It's looking unlikely that It's looking like I don't want to. It's looking like we're going to get Truro on the Wednesday or the Thursday.
It's looking unlikely now, but when we talk about this next week, Bobbie, it could probably look likely because there is so many changes, so many ups and downs.
I think we don't finish below fourth. I think fourth, third, or second is where. Second and third
we could still win it. We could still win it.
But it's looking like it's slowly, like the gap's getting bigger. We're 5 points drift now.
We are, but then we've got to play Worthing.
They've got to work over
Truro have got to play Torquay, and they've got to play Worthing. Dorking have still got to play Worthing. There's so many fixtures at the top. You know, this is why we're doing a podcast today, right? Because we were going to do it next week, but there's been so many different results going, or this in the last couple of weeks, that we had to do one. You know, no one expected Worthing to go to Welling and get beat, and then go to Hornchurch and get beat.
I expected Worthing to
No,
do.
you hoped.
No, I knew. If you've not looked at the stats, the eventual champions of each season have lost at Welling. Just saying.
You said that last cast.
I know, and you
But that means that Worthing.
worked.
No, but that means that Worthing are going to win the league, right? Because you said that.
Yeah.
You said
Didn't
the
say
champion.
Jinxed it now.
Yeah. So anyone out there, Bobbie's prediction is he hates Worthing, but
he wants
Bobbie's
to win the
prediction is
league.
they're going to win the league because they beat Welling.
Oh,
But to be fair, I mean, people thought England were going to win the Euros and obviously lost the final hurdle, so I'm hoping it happens with Worthing. I hope Worthing lose on the final day. That's what I hope.
I think Dorking win it personally.
Yeah, I said Dorking from the start.
Yeah. Well, I still hope that we do because
I hope we do, of
obviously
course. Yeah,
You win a shit ton of money.
Yeah, I'll win a few quid.
Yeah.
So moving on, we're just going to do a bit of a player focus now, and there's many players we could pick from, but I think we've got one player who plays our number 9, George Alexander, who, for me he's had a great season. I'm going to hand over to you, Miles, because I know you're a stat man. And you can tell us all about George.
Absolutely, yeah, he's been absolutely outstanding, hasn't he? Really, he's been, for me, the player of the season so far. Had the injury at the start of season 2, didn't he? Missed probably August and half of September, and he still managed to get, I think it's 24 goals, all competitions so far, 21 in the league, which is absolutely incredible. Coupled with a few assists recently as well in setting up. Had the gun against Chippenham home, wasn't it? And then the Farnbury had the Davis one as too.
And that goal there I want to talk about because he was on 19 at the time. Now, when he runs through, and number 9 is greedy, right? And number 9 is greedy, and number 9 wants to score goals. And not only was he on 19, he's second in the charts of the top goal scorer in the league.
Yeah.
So for me, that number 9 that's greedy, that number 9 that wants it, he's there but he gets the ball. And in that position, I think every one of us 5 would have shot, right? You know, for me, if he takes a shot as the keeper's advancing, and we know he can dink because he done it 5 minutes later, you know, but if he dinks it over the keeper or anything, he hits that magic number of 20. Now, he does not know. I mean, all right, he expects that he's going to get another chance. But if he doesn't get to score another goal that season, finishes on 19, in his head, 20 sounds so much better than 19. It's only 1 goal. But he doesn't. He's not greedy. He sets up Jason Adigan. And let's just say, we must believe in karma, because 5 minutes later, Jason Adigan plays an absolute worldie through for George to score the 4th. But that's what I think about George. I see him, and even with them stats, he's such an unselfish player, right? And for a number 9, you expect him to be selfish. Do you agree? Or
I think number 9s have to be selfish. I think that is the role. You know, a goalkeeper, he's there to use his hands. A number 9 has to be selfish.
But he seems to be selfish on a team level rather than on a personal level. You know, he knows that if he squares that ball to Adigan against Chippenham, it's a goal, right? He knows that. There's no way in the world Adigan's going to miss that. I mean, I could have put it in. Seriously, I could have scored that. In fact, Cherry could have got it as well. But sorry. But you know, there's no way in the world Adigan misses that. And he's gifted Adigan a goal.
He's got to weigh up, really. When he goes for a goal, I think as a striker, you've got to weigh up whether you think you're going to take the chance or whether someone else is better positioned to take it. And in the case of Jane Davis' goal against Farnborough as well, it's an absolute tapping. Like, you can't miss that, really, can you?
No. But he, you know, like I say, when he's going through, split second, he's got to make a decision. Yeah. And I mean, I'm having a shot. I'm sorry.
He's a selfish one.
I had the selfish one. I'll be having a shot.
He's not showing £2,000, by the
way. But George is yeah. He squares it and then things. So yeah, sorry. Carrying on. Your feelings on George this year? I think.
No, obviously he's been great. I think he'll be kicking himself. He's had a couple of penalties he hasn't scored. So if he was to miss out on top goal scorer from that, I think he'd really be giving himself a hard time. But even when he wasn't scoring, he's putting the legwork in, creating chances for others, making space. So yeah, no, very good too.
He works so hard as well, isn't it? Like, he saw the Dorking, he got absolutely no service whatsoever. I can't think of a single chance he got the entire game. But he worked tirelessly up front. Yeah. And now Greeny's coming as well. I think he's working a lot smarter up front as well. You can see like his movement's got a lot better. Also, when the ball's pinged up to him, he's not the biggest of strikers, but he's holding off a defender. He's not trying to jump for the ball because he knows he can't win it, but he's just trying to unsettle the defender and let someone like a Davis run onto it or an Adigan run onto it instead. So, yeah, I think it's more to his game than just the poacher aspect.
Yeah, I totally agree. So that's about it. We're only a little short one today. We're going to move on and send you another one later on in the week. So look out for the next one, probably Friday or maybe Saturday morning. But we'll all see you again later on in the week. Hit the like, hit the subscribe, and hit that bell, and you'll be the first ones to see when it comes on. So welcome back. This is part 2 of episode 2. If you haven't seen part 1, go back and watch it. And don't forget to hit the like, the subscribe, and that notification bell, and then you'll catch all our content. We're going to start off talking about referees, the subject that always will
divide
opinion. And so, Rob, I know you've got a bit to say about referees, so go on.
Keep it PG.
Well, from watching them, the referees at this level, they want to make their name the same as the players do. They don't want to be turning out on a cold Tuesday night, long treks on a Saturday. They want to be making names for themselves. So what I've seen other teams doing well, I don't think we do it as well as other teams do, is giving them the opportunity to blow the whistle. Say, ball, comes down the wing, take the touch, you know the player's coming in, shield it, let him clip, you go down. Get that done early on. If you can get your opponent booked, you've got him for the rest of the game. He can't touch you now. So I don't think we do enough of that. I'm not saying getting players sent off, it's more taking away their free pass. But certainly the referees, I think we need to be smarter with them and give them the opportunity to make them the star of the show.
Yeah, I agree with that a little bit.
I'd say from Saturday Dawkins game, the referee really was frustrating because I think he got all of the big calls correct. Like the red card, I feel like it was a red card. The penalty was a penalty, and then even like little yellow cards going around. I think generally they were just yellow cards, nothing more. But then it was the time management for me. Like if you know a team's going to time waste, it'll take ages to take a throw in or take a set piece or whatever it may be. Just book them once. Like Josh Taylor must have had about 5 different times down in our fan section where he took about a good, 30 seconds to take a throw in.
Yeah.
If he just books him once, he's not going to do it again because he won't want to run the risk of getting sent off. So, I think for me, if the referee's a bit hot on time wasting, a bit more smarter with it, then they can save him to a lot of trouble.
Yeah, I think the same. And the amount of times you hear a referee, if it's for a throw in or for a substitution or that come on, hurry up, or come on to the goalkeeper or whatever, and then they still allow them to take like 10 or 15 seconds after that, and it's like you've already told them, right? Just get your card out. And I think a lot of this, a lot on the time wasting issue. I think a lot of it is it just needs that one card. If you start handing cards out, and if a referee goes into the changing rooms or speaks to the captains before the game like they do, and they say, right, this is what I'm going to do, or the managers, whoever they speak to, and say, right, I'm not going to stand time wasting. If your players do it, I am going to book them. But the managers or the captains will tell their players that. But then if they allow it to happen, it's like, boy, you're not a man of your word, right? You've got to do what you're saying. And if they are, if they hand the cards out, if they get the confidence to do it, because I actually think that the referees in our league, the good ones get snapped up, right? The good ones are going up the high, up the higher levels of football, and some of them are, they're being snapped up. Anyone that's any decent, the same as a player, right? If a player's outstanding in this league, he's going to get signed, as we've seen with 2 of our players going to Wolves and Middlesbrough. So anyone who's out, and other clubs as well. We're not the only club that's lost players to higher leagues.
Chippenham, that bloke who, well, you know where he went, didn't he? Did he go to Southampton? He went to.
Can't remember now, to be honest.
Giant?
Can't remember.
No, but one of their players.
Bristol, to be honest.
Bristol, he's gone back, but
but there are players, like I say, and the referees are exactly the same. But I just think I get what you're saying, Rob, about they want to make a name for themselves. I think they do, and I think you're right in what you say. You sometimes you've got to be that little bit more tactical. Get your opponent booked. Get your opponent to do something he shouldn't do.
We're too nice.
We are a nice team.
Yes.
I think we are.
Depends who it is, though.
I think we are in some respects. I think.
Or Brown.
No. Did we get a yellow card on Saturday? But
Jaden got booked.
Jaden got booked. Was that it? Was that the only yellow card?
No. I think we had 2 or 3 because they were a couple. I think
the Jaden one was.
I know the Dorking fans were moaning that saying that we should have.
The Jaden one was naughty. I think it's not on their highlights, but if you remember what he did. Literally, the guy running in behind his past the ball, he literally yanked him back. Yeah. I think you look at it. Ooh.
I think it's yellow, that one.
That wasn't a yellow.
He was covering, so.
I think it's a yellow, and at the end of the day, I'm of an age where, when I was playing football, which I did,
kick lumps at someone, you weren't getting booked for it.
What do you know? What you could kick lumps at someone, and you wouldn't get booked for it. But on the other side of it, if you started doing all this hands-on stuff and hold it like they do now, you'd be booked for it.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's gone a total reversal, you know.
It's a contact sport, as people say.
It is, but I get so frustrated. I mean, well, you guys know, because I'll stand behind the goal and
hear it.
Hear it.
Yeah.
you know, but at the end of the day, I get so frustrated with players holding on to players, you know, and I mean,
It's
they're
not even
not just,
discreet though, is it?
it's
It's
like
about-
they've got their
Yeah.
arms around them, they can't
Yeah,
go
really.
anywhere,
No.
right? I mean, that's restraining somebody. The referees don't stand for that, you know, or they don't card people for that, and it's one of my big frustrations. I know next year they're talking about, because we've gone on with the time wasting. I know next year they're saying that there's going to be a new rule introduced or something.
You
something
know,
like
I
that.
mentioned
so
that,
if you
Yeah.
spend,
So go on, because
Mark,
you
go.
probably know the rule.
So
better than
basically,
me.
if the goalkeeper's got the ball in his hands, not a goal kick, he's got 8 seconds to release it, either as a kick or a throw, whatever it may be. And if he doesn't, if he goes past 8 seconds, it's then a call into the opposition if he breaks that time threshold. And apparently they tried it in 400 games recently, and there's 4 times that the goalkeeper broke the rule.
Right,
So
okay.
that's a good indicator that it probably does work.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I think I
Yeah.
think you would, wouldn't you? If you was a goalkeeper, you'd be trying to get rid of it. But I quite like that idea because it does keep the ball in play.
Speeds the game up, and then
Yeah.
keeps
And-
it flowing.
And I mean,
so long as the referees are hot on it. You
Yeah,
look at-
exactly.
Yeah,
That's the
yeah.
problem.
when it was booking for throwing the ball away.
Yeah.
Remember the start of the season, the amount of bookings that everyone was getting.
And then
Yeah,
you look at it
bookings, and
now.
now
I think
it's just stopped.
the back end towards last season as well, they were hot on it. 'Cause it got
Yeah.
brought in mid-season.
And also, there was talk of the captains only being able to speak to the
Oh, that
referee.
was
That's
that
was-
What's that rule? Yeah.
where
if
is
you
that?
look when Dorking got the penalty, no, when they got the sending off, their whole team was on referee.
yeah,
There's no consistency, is there? That's the issue.
no,
I think-
and that
I
is
think he
and that
got-
is
he
the
got
word,
one player.
and that is the word
You
consistency.
only
It's
got
like,
one individual player.
you know, you go back to the World Cup that was in Qatar when they trialled that.
And
You-
the time
you know,
thing.
adding time thing. You know,
It was 18 minutes in the England game.
Everybody moaned about that, but I thought actually no, I like it because in the end, players are going to go. There's no point in me holding on to the ball. There's no point in me taking time to take the throw in because the referee is, or the timekeeper, or whoever they've got doing it, is clicking that time from when the ball is out of play to when the ball is in play. So you would get 45 minutes. But if they implemented that into football, it would into all football, it would only take so long before players wouldn't do, you know, they wouldn't time waste. Because what would be the value in it? You know, if you're not actually saving anything, you know, because it's just going to get added on at the end, and then you're going to be, you know, you're going to be there longer, you're going to be more tired and stuff like that. So, you know, for me, I enjoyed that. I don't know that could come into our league.
In England, the whole England, every division.
But again, we then need the referees, and we've just said, where's the one person talking to the captain
exactly.
talking to the referee? Where's the, you know?
I think that rule kind of got abolished because, if from a referee perspective, it's kind of hard to. You got to deal with 7-8 players coming around. It's probably hard to get the message across like one person speaks to the referee at one time because you're going to get a challenge goes in, everyone in the team will be frustrated, so you all want to go on the referee.
Just start looking in that case.
Yeah,
exactly.
But they don't, and that's why the referees probably bottled it because they've got 8 fully grown men about 6'4" crowning him.
But it only takes if you four are playing for a football team and I'm the referee, and you know I spot you time wasting, so I give you a yellow card. Right? You 3 are not going to do it because you're going to think, well, if I waste time, I'm going to get the yellow card. If you know if you get a bad foul against you and you 3 come up to me and I just card all 3 of you,
You won't do it again.
you're not going to do it again. And I understand that, you know, but it is about consistency, and we struggle in this league, and I know that, you know, you see managers at times when they're trying to. I mean, I watch everyone's interview. You know, I watch all the interviews from the managers because I find it interesting. I find it interesting about how they're saying they're playing and stuff like that. But for me, there's you know when you listen to them, they can't say what we can say, right? Because they'll be in trouble.
Yeah.
You know, we're a fans podcast. We can say what we like. We can, and we're saying our feelings, And I'm sure there's people out there that agree with us. There's going to be people that disagree. Probably referees.
Is there any referees watching? I'd click off probably about 10 minutes ago.
Yeah, you should have turned off 10 minutes ago, but you can come back in a minute.
Yeah.
So
Well, that's money.
yeah.
We'll love your views and your money.
But with that, the booking players that approach the referee, that isn't. I think what they try to do is too much too soon.
Yeah.
It's a cultural thing that's from being a kid. Great, kids don't tend to run at a referee, but even kids playing in school, in playground, you get a fan who's like, oh, ref. There isn't a ref, but everyone still calls for ref.
Yeah.
I'd do it as inside.
Yeah.
I know on Sunday, their keepers handballed it outside the box. I've got the referee's face, but I'm not a red card. He's like, sin bin in for 2 minutes.
I like sin bin. I actually have sin bin.
I do like the sin bin. I do like the sin bin.
Is it in
Or just rugby. It works well in rugby.
They have in county in England, don't they?
But yeah, they have it in. They have it in county league now. I don't know how far up. So it's. I think that's step
We're
9 maybe.
I watched Seaford
10
last year. That's sin bin. That was step 10.
Yeah, step
tier
10.
10, step
Yeah.
5 or 6, whatever it is. Yeah.
And I do quite like that because again, that is something where, in the end, if you get put in that sin bin, and I get the referees get decisions wrong, so they're going to put the wrong player in the sin bin, or they're going to put somebody.
Yeah.
But at the end of the
if
day,
it's the goalkeeper, you're not going to put him in the sin bin for a bit.
Then you should be goal.
well, I mean,
But it's-
I've been watching Eastbourne Borough to remember a game a long time ago when we was in the Conference National, and we ended up with one of our midfielders, Matt Smart, in goal, and I'm not lying. I'd have signed him as a goalkeeper after that.
Would you?
He was fantastic, and I'm sure some of the older Borough guys will remember that game.
The keeper got sent
I
off.
think
on
we went
Sunday.
through three keepers that game, and he was the third one, and he was he was
Did you
outstanding.
win that game?
I think we lost 2-1.
Oh.
I'm going to go back to the stats now, but he never conceded.
Oh,
He never
fair
conceded.
Clean
He was
sheet.
outstanding. Yeah, clean
Inaccurate,
sheet.
inaccurate,
Matt
I mean.
Smart, and he was a player that. Again, I was looking for it the other day because I was talking to someone about it and I can't find it. So if anyone out there listening knows where this clip is, you can just, if you see me at the ground, let me know. But it was where Matt Smart scored I think this was away at
Reminiscing.
Barrow, I think. But he scored a goal from the halfway line, a free kick. He put the ball down and the keeper was coming up to take it. And as he's gone running forward, he's looked forward and seen that the keeper's like on the edge of the area. So he's turned and started running back and he's had a quick look and he's run a bit further back and he's had another look. And I mean, it was in Gary Wilson's tenure. And I mean, Gary will, when we do the down the lane meets, Gary will obviously talk about this one. But yeah, he lobbed the keeper from the halfway line and actually ended up on Sky Sports Soccer Saturday as I think it was the second best goal of the week or the best goal of the week. But yeah, reminiscing now, I'm going back about 15 years, so long time. So, what else do we want to talk about, guys?
Round up with fixtures for the this week.
We can do. Who's got a list of the fixtures?
Oh.
Get your phone out. Bobby.
Forget the phone with the stats.
Yeah, get your phone out.
Yeah.
Well, it's worth insurance.
So, what to do? Read down, and we will all predict
Okay.
the winner.
Because
So-
someone make no. Have you got a pen? Have you got a pen over?
No, but it will all be on. Remember, if you watch it, you'll see it. You don't need a pen and paper because hopefully you'll be watching what we're recording, Bobby, and then you can write it down at home
so
in the comfort of your own front
the
room.
first game of the weekend is Boreham Wood versus Salisbury. How do you think that's going? Obviously, Boreham Wod lost the weekend 4-0.
we saying a score or just a
Let's get
result?
score.
Just a result.
Just a result.
I'm going.
Or you can score or result. If you're feeling bold, do both.
I know Bournemouth Wood are. I'll go first on this one. I know Bournemouth Wood are
Your
in.
best friend plays, doesn't
In a bad bit of form. They're conceding a few goals, but I am going to go for a home win.
he? Fair enough, Miles.
Yourself, Miles?
I'm actually going to go for a draw, I think. I'm going for a draw. I think Salisbury on decent enough form. Bournemouth have had a few sketchy results recently, so I feel like maybe a little upset there.
I reckon Salisbury win.
Oh!
We're going.
1-0 as well. Stop scoring. I love that. Hopefully you're right.
No, I think Boreham Wood, they've got to start winning again. They're not a bad team.
Not at all.
So,
No, we
so
saw that.
they're going to...
Yeah.
It wouldn't surprise me if they finish the rest of the season unbeaten now. I think they've had some tough results, but they're a good team, so they will turn it around.
Bobbie?
Myself, I like the idea of a draw, but I think Boreham Wood would just about edge it. I think it'll be a close game.
Okay.
Next one is a mid-table clash of Chippenham versus Chelmsford.
What was your first? I
A bit of
think, did you go second on the last one?
I think I did.
Yeah, you go first, then.
Well, no one really cares that much. No offense to Chippenham and Chelmsford. Let's just say it straight.
And we're not fair in Chippenham.
I think there's probably some Chippenham fans and Chelmsford fans
I've
if
just
they're watching
insulted a
this,
lot of Chippenham
yeah,
people.
they might
Miles
be
Chippenham
interested.
and
So
Chelmsford.
Chippenham fans and Chelmsford fans, Miles apologises.
I do. Profusely.
He didn't.
You got Will though, Chippenham, Will Henry,
Yeah,
legend.
If he's even if he's fit, isn't he?
If he's fit.
I'll go for another draw there. Sit on the fence again.
I'll go for 0-0.
Oh, good result as well. That's bold.
I'm going to go Chippenham.
Chippenham. I'm going to go Chelmsford. I
Okay.
think they'll end us in on a bit of form.
I know I'm going to go Chippenham. I think that when we played them at home, I don't think they were a bad side. I think we made them look bad because of the way we played. We won 4-1 and it was a great game.
Yeah.
But I don't think they were. I don't think they were that bad. So
Next game, a bit of bias, maybe. Eastbourne Borough versus Weymouth. How do you think we'll start at the other end of the table? We'll go Rob.
it's Cherry first.
yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, Cherry.
So
Then
this is why
Rob.
I'm not in
Never
charge.
ruled, unfortunately.
Did you say on the last one, by the way?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, you did.
I did. Went for a Chelmsford victory.
Eastbourne win.
Score?
2-0.
No.
2-0.
2-1.
2-1.
Ooh,
Clean
No, I
Not
don't
giving my
want
heart
to-
right
don't-
now.
Yeah, I don't want too much.
Yeah.
I don't want too
Obviously,
much.
win would relegate.
I want it.
Obviously, Weymouth lose, they're relegated.
I think we're going to turn it around. I'm going to go for a 4-0
Ooh.
to Borough.
I'll go. I think I might join the bandwagon. I'm going to go 4-1 Borough. I think Weymouth will be up for the fight. Obviously, then obviously they know going to the game will be a big game for them. So I think they'll score early, and knowing us, we'll turn around second half.
Yeah.
Miles?
I'll go 3-0 with George Brace. I reckon in there.
Yeah, George, Brayden, that's good.
Okay. And I also think we'll win well. I'm not going to. Shall I give a score? 3-0. I think we might score early, and then I think obviously Weymouth will have to go on the attack. And we're so good at our counter-attacking football this year.
we are brilliant.
That it could be 3-0, it could well be 4-5. You know, but I think our defence will be strong.
Yeah.
Enough. And
Enough.
yeah.
Yeah, so next game is two teams with a bit of a poor run of form. Hampton Richmond versus Bath. Hampton haven't won in their last 6. They've actually lost every single one. They haven't picked up a point. Whereas Bath they've won 2, drawn 2, and lost 1.
I've had a couple of good results. Who's first on this one? Who hasn't been
It's me now, isn't it?
Yeah.
So I reckon that's a Bath win.
Fair enough. I reckon it will probably be Bath win as well.
Yeah, I'm
Is that
going
about
to
it?
go Bath win.
Yeah, I'll probably agree with the Bath win.
Me too.
Oh, there you go.
There you go.
Bath fans, you'll be happy.
Sorry, Hampton.
Yeah, sorry, Hampton fans. but
This is probably quite a big game at both ends of the table. Hemel Hempstead, Enfield Town. Obviously, Hemel have been revived under Lee Allison, and Enfield looking to survive the drop. Who's going first this one? Is it me? Is it my turn to go first?
It is your turn.
I think it'll be a draw. I think they're two very good teams. I think they're both in form. I think they'll be able to get a result, eat both. So I think it'll probably go for a 2-2 draw.
Draw. I'm going to go for an Enfield win.
I'll go for a Hemel win.
Hemel win.
Enfield win.
Enfield.
I was going to go Enfield win.
Okay.
Another game. Slough Averley, obviously Averley already relegated. Slough off the back of a 4-0 loss at Weymouth.
Yeah, I think I'm first on this one. I think I'll go for a Slough win. I think the only danger at this stage of the season is obviously teams that are now mid-table. You know, they kind of, you know, have they lost the drive? Yeah, just lost that drive.
10%,
But
yeah.
I think back in front of your home fans. I mean, Weymouth, like we said, you know, they beat them well at the weekend. They're fighting. You know, but yeah. So I'll go for a Slough win. Yourself, Mark?
Yeah, Slough are always strong, especially at home, aren't they?
Yeah.
So I think it'll be probably quite a boring game, but maybe like a 1-0 Slough, something like that.
Me, I reckon it's a Slough win on that one.
Me too. 1-0.
To be fair, the teams that are already down, you'll be careful of. I think
I suppose they can play freely, can't
they've
they?
got nothing to play for. I mean, we
Yeah,
had
I
Billericay
suppose so.
one year and they were down.
Oh God, don't run with that game.
I think we lost 2-1. They were
2-1,
down.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
you never know. Everybody could, go guns blazing and do all sorts. But I think it would probably be a Slough 1-0.
Yeah.
Okay.
Next game is the big one, the one that hopefully St Albans wins. St Albans Dorking, that is.
Mm-hmm.
Who's first on the Miles?
Miles.
You're first this time.
I'm going to back Dorking. I think their away form's immense. I think they've won 10 out of their last 11 away games on the grass pitch as well. Mark loves the grass pitch.
Yeah.
I can't see past them personally, so I'd love to be wrong, but Dorking win.
Dorking win.
Talking when.
Draw.
Ah.
St Albans,
That'll be
my reason is St Albans and Dorking very similar form. St Albans obviously want to fight to stay up, and Dorking want to fight to win the league and playoffs. So I don't think
It's not an easy game. But
It's
yeah.
not an easy game. I think it'll be a draw. I think it'll be probably a high scoring draw.
Yeah, I'm going to go for a Dorking win. I think, like you say, Mark White gets them up, and they have got better away form.
Much better away form.
They haven't been playing that well at home, and obviously, I don't think they were that much better than us at the weekend overall, but they managed the game better. So yeah, I'll have a Dorking win.
Yeah. So over to Tunbridge Farnborough now. Tunbridge and Farnborough very similar form. Obviously, two teams, 10th versus 11th. Another really gritty mid-table clash. Tunbridge just announcing that their manager is leaving to go to Folkestone at the end of the season. I don't know if it's this now in the season, but
No, he's going at the end.
is he going at the end? Going to
Yeah.
Folkestone? Is he? Yeah.
Folkestone, yeah.
Folkestone. So Tunbridge Farnborough, nice and sweet, nice and short. What are we going with? Is it me first?
No,
it's
it
not
is.
That'll be me this time. I'll
I don't know the
go
order.
Tunbridge win.
Fair enough.
I'll go 1-1.
I'm going to back a Tunbridge win.
I'm going to back a draw probably.
Yeah, I'm going to go for a draw. I think there's a couple of teams there that, they're kind of in the mid-table now, and the season really is pretty much gone. I mean,
So Torquay Chesham. Obviously Torquay won at the weekend 1-0 against Averley. Chesham thrashed Welling 4-1. Is it me first? I don't know.
no, I think it's Cherry first.
I don't know. I don't know the order. I just
Yeah, we should have just got. I don't know.
I just
why
saw
we-
it.
juggling about.
I introduced it and someone down there talk.
Talking when.
Torquay win.
Torquay.
Torquay.
Yeah, they've been grinding out results, haven't they?
Yeah,
Like 1-0,
unbeaten
2-0.
in the last 5.
Yeah, I think Torquay win that.
And I am going to go for a Torquay win as well. I think they're chasing hard now, and I see them as the one team that could actually could upset the apple cart from. They had that position when they was up there. They had a few bad results, but then they've just picked them up again, and I just think they play well against top teams, but Torquay are a good side.
They've got a healthy run
They've
into
just
it,
got a
haven't they?
couple new signings in, just to, so yeah, Torquay win for me.
Welling Hornchurch. I know Welling obviously battered by Chesham 4-1 at the weekend. Hornchurch lost 4-2 to West Supermare.
they
I
did,
don't know if you've seen the goal that
Some goal.
so there is I think it's probably the longest goal ever scored.
It's at least
At least-
what's the length of a pitch just inside the opposition's box? Probably like
Really?
what?
Have you not seen it?
Yeah,
I actually
yards.
look it up because Luke calls
Insane.
a corner comes in last minute for West Supermare in the Hornchurch box,
Yeah.
and Luke Corson has volleyed this ball from his own penalty spot
Yeah.
over the halfway line, it's trickled into the empty Hornchurch net.
I take it the keeper went up.
Team was up for the corner,
Yeah, he just hooks it. Yeah.
and it might work.
And that's a massive thing for me. The amount of times that doesn't happen. And I'm
It's
like,
incredible. Got to look it up.
why? When the keeper's up and you see him trying to play the ball out, it's like, boot it,
Just-
right?
just
Just
whack
as hard
it.
as you can.
Yeah.
If it goes in.
Anyway, Welling
so-
Hornchurch.
so
Sorry,
go on,
Barry.
Go me first. So I will go for a Welling win.
Ooh, really?
Yeah.
That's wow. Okay, that's brave.
I'll go draw.
I think a draw as well. No.
But I think Hornchurch win.
I'm going to draw as well.
Another big game. West Superman Maidstone. Both teams unbeaten. Both teams have won their last 5.
Have they?
Yes. No, well, they have won. I apologise.
Beaten in 5.
They're unbeaten in 5. I do apologise.
I'm beating in 5.
Sorry. So
Who's first? Is it me?
Miles.
No, Miles.
even first last time, right?
Maidstone have been on very good form last few weeks, and Western are terrible at home. They've got 15th in the league for home form, so something like that. I think Maidstone win personally.
I am going to go for a very feisty draw.
Okay. I can see that.
I think that both teams, this is a big game for both teams because, Western have to beat Maidstone to close that gap on them. Maidstone are going to go there thinking they're happy with a draw, right? Because it means that Western aren't closing in. I think, but I definitely think there'll be some cards in that game on Saturday.
I think Western have to win it, so I think Western do.
I think a Torquay win.
Torquay
win, wow.
Torquay win.
They're not even playing 6 points.
Torquay are winning the last game.
6 points for Torquay.
Maidstone win.
You
sorry.
Torquay fans are going to be happy.
I'm going to go with a Western win. I reckon Western.
That's
I reckon Western nick it. I reckon it'll be a very tight,
It's
cagey
hard to
game.
call that game, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Very hard to call.
And then our final game, first versus third. May I add, Worthing versus Truro.
And who's first on this one?
I think
Must be.
I'll go first.
You go first.
Truro win.
Straight in.
Mm-hmm.
Score.
2-1.
Fair enough. I'm going to go with a draw. High scoring draw. I reckon Frill.
I hate to say it, but I think Worthing going to win, unfortunately. No, too much.
I think Worthing have had their little blip. But then Truro are on a bit of a blip at the moment. They've had a couple of bad results. Enfield away, getting beat 3-2. Worthing had their 2 bad results. I think it could go anyway, but I'm gonna go for. I think Truro will do it. I don't know why. I just think that Truro will beat them, and that's not me being anti-Worthing. I just think.
Sorry.
I just think that.
Whatever it is, then.
Sorry. And I hope
Anyway,
that's the
that's
case
what I'm
anyway
happy.
because it closes.
I think a Worthing win.
Worthing.
Sorry.
Okay.
I'm going to slowly move that way.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm going to move that.
So that's Saturday's fixtures. We will hope to bring you something with next week's fixtures just during the week. It might be a little short cast, but that's our predictions for this week's fixtures or today's fixtures if this is coming out as we believe on Saturday morning. We might try and do another one for you next week. If not, we'll be back the week after. In between, we'll be doing one in between the Saturday the 12th and the I think it's the 12th, is it? And then Good Friday.
Yeah.
We'll be doing one early in the week, so hopefully we'll get that out for you before
Derby Day.
Before Derby Day for us. Yeah,
Judgment
Worthing
Day.
at home.
No, Judgment Day.
And I promise you one thing, guys. You hit the like, subscribe, and the bell
Get the plug in.
wherever it is. It's somewhere. But I promise you one thing. The league will have changed. We're sitting here today thinking who's going to win the league, who's close up. There will be massive changes in the next 2 weeks just because of the fixtures. So as we end the cast, just a quick one. At the end of the last podcast, we offered one of our sponsors' games, the Rainbow. You can go look at it, playtherainbow.co.uk. We offered that to the person who gets closest to the amount of selfies that Mark Garner has taken at Eastbourne Borough games this year. He's a bit of a selfie king, loves taking them. And we will upload a couple of his funny ones. We might even do a little video montage of some of them and put it up as a little short. The number that he has taken is
835.
835, and the closest to the amount was
984. So, at Pyro7598, your guess of 984 selfies is our closest, meaning you are a winner of the Rainbow game.
you are a winner of the Rainbow. So if you make yourselves known to any one of us,
Give us a DM on Instagram.
yeah, give us a DM or give us a comment with who you actually are.
Yeah, you are.
And then we'll know who to give the game to. Just one other thing as well. We have actually given away our first game already.
Oh.
And that was to Catherine.
Hey.
And even you guys, no one pointed it out, but I made a deliberate mistake in our first video.
Did you?
And if you haven't seen it, go back and watch. But on the intro music at the start, I purposely spelled sponsored wrong to see who was watching. And there was actually 2 people that came up to me. Catherine was first, she messaged me. And then, funny enough, Nigel, who's just got an award for watching 1,000 games. And he will be, when we do the Down the Lane meets, the series of interviews with people, we will be talking to Nigel. So, you will be getting to see him. So, so the winner for that. But Catherine, you won, and I will upload a picture because I did take a picture of us at the game. Well done for spotting the deliberate mistake. Catherine, well done, you've won a game. And Pyro, whatever numbers you are, comment on this video. Hopefully you've watched this one, and let us know who you are, and we will give you the game and take a picture with you. Or in fact, you could probably have a selfie with Mark Garner, which will make it good. Anyway, hit the like, subscribe, and the bell. You'll see more content from us. We're hoping to be back, as I said, in between the 12th and Good Friday for another quick, short one. And hope you've enjoyed yourself. If you have, let us know. If you haven't as well, let us know. Because at the end of the day, we're only doing this as a bit of fun. This is a bit of fun for us. And we do appreciate the feedback. We got a lot of feedback on the first one from people in the trade and people not in the trade, people who are watching. We got a lot of views. So that was good. And if there's anything you want us to talk about, you know where we are. You can message us. You can, we're on all the socials at Down the Lane Podcast. So give us a hit up and let us know what you want us to talk about, and we will do that for you. Anyway, for now, I'm going to say goodbye.
Up sports.
Up Borough.
Bye.
See you down the lane Saturday.